Vindolanda has provided one of the largest caches of Roman writing tablets ever found. However, and despite arising out of a military fort in Britain, they are remarkably unconcerned with military matters. They contain a single military strength report, which is presumed to be from the end of the 1st century. Whilst this document does confirm a military presence in Britain, it also reveals a certain peculiarity. A staggering 2/3 of Vindolanda's cohort are absent, approximately 456 soldiers, leaving only 265, including one centurion fit for duty. A separate officer's report was also discovered. It read, "The northern Britons, there are great numbers of cavalry. The cavalry do not use swords, nor do the wretched Britons mount to hurl their javelins." This lamentation appears less like an observation of enemy eccentricities, but rather an officer's vexation at British auxiliaries' general recalcitrance. Nevertheless, and besides these two uninspiring military memoranda, the tablets predominantly convey mundane private matters, such as the acquisition of provisions, application of petitions, and party invitations. They reveal no apprehension of hostiles, nor show concern for the soldiers' situation. The general apathy within the camp contrasts significantly to comparable correspondence from frontier military postings of the modern age. Epigraphic evidence of military campaigning in Britain, outside of the Vindolanda tablets, is equally thin and uninspiring. 3 respective inscriptions, from Turin, Kos, and Antioch, provide the only examples of an individual specifically decorated by the emperor because of the expedition to Britain. The vast corpus of Roman inscriptions of Britain provides nothing relating to conquest or domination. They refer only to commerce, personal property, polytheistic devotions, and generic funerary inscriptions. Given the overt absence of soldiery and predominance of economic civility and mundanity, the probability that a peace settlement was reached between Rome and Britain is high. Certainly, there is no evidence that the Roman army in Britain was engaged in fighting, or even fracas, as they evidently were elsewhere in the empire. Rather than fighting with the natives, the Roman army appears to have been facilitating the maximization of trade out of Britain. Most likely, Rome agreed a trade monopoly with Britain. A logistical network and system were then established, at Rome's expense, which could capitalize on this monopoly. The effectiveness of this enterprise would certainly have required an abundance of relatively unskilled auxiliaries to build and maintain the infrastructure. Moreover, the Roman army was intrinsically structured to provide the necessary efficiency, organization, and administrative skills to run the system effectively and profitably. Indeed, Rome's realizable revenue was determined by their ability to fully exploit such a trade agreement with Britain. It can be supposed that all British trade was channeled through Rome's logistical machine, with Rome attaching its profit margin to the wholesale British price which it unilaterally enjoyed. Besides building a network of roads leading to ports, the army built and manned depots and checkpoints to facilitate and monitor the transit of their trade. Hadrian's Wall appears to have been such a checkpoint. The wall stretched from coast to coast at the narrowest point of the island and beyond the most productive regions. It served to protect Rome's trading monopoly by stopping anyone circumventing the island-wide embargo and enjoying international trade via Scotland. The size of the wall and the apparent dedication to policing it confirms that control of this border was crucial to Rome. If British sellers or foreign buyers were able to undermine Rome's monopoly by trading through Scotland, Rome's massive investment in infrastructure would be irredeemably lost. Further confirmation that the Roman army was engaged solely in a logistical enterprise in Britain rather than pillage and plunder is suggested by the humble grain weevil. The tiny beetle arrived and departed with the Roman army's presence in Britain. Marijke van der Veen confirms that these grain pests appear from the very start of the Roman conquest, and have not been recorded on Iron Age or earlier sites. They are neither native to Britain nor capable of coping with its climate, but arrived regularly in foreign grain imports. Moreover, the weevil's absence from the early medieval sites, after Rome had withdrawn from Britain, confirms its intrinsic association with the army's imported rations. The army's self-sufficiency, whilst in Britain, supports the suggestion that Rome and Britain were engaged in a peaceful joint venture.